Welcome to the New York Times. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about the ceasefire in Israel. Bibi Netanyahu and Hamas sit down. Accompanied by the Jewish mother of the Middle East, Donald Trump. They've officially reached an agreement this morning. Friday morning, it is 1:20 p.m. right now on October 10th. This morning, the ceasefire officially went into place. Israel has started to pull out of a lot of sections of Gaza. They're still in Gaza in a defensive barrier. They're calling it the yellow line, which I gotta know. How do they make up the color behind these lines? I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out during the course of this episode. Now that there's a ceasefire in place, Hamas has 72 hours to give the hostages back. From what I am seeing, that is Monday at 12 p.m., which means that we're probably going to be getting the hostages back sometime on Monday. It's a big, huge special episode of the New York Times, and I am joined by my resident goy herself, Taya. Off camera, comedian Taya Tyson is here, who's going to be giving the Goyish and non-Jewish perspective. Taya, what do you think about Israel and Palestine?
Hello. Oh my God. I'm just thrilled that the hostages are going to be let free so the world can finally know peace.
Yeah. You know what's funny? This is it. It's over.
Baby. If ever we were going to know peace, it's right now.
You know what's good? I heard recently that Nashville, the Nashville City Department or the City Council,
the city of Nashville,
recently had a vote
Tennessee?
about Nashville, Tennessee recently had a vote about whether to call what's happening in Gaza a genocide or not.
Why is Nashville getting
Why is Nashville getting up? No one was like, all right, we gotta wait.
You know whose take we need on this?
Nashville,
the city of Nashville.
Just the city of Nashville,
Tennessee.
Yeah. Bibi right now is like, do we go into Rafah? Wait.
Ask Nashville.
What has Nashville said? What has Broadway? Someone has to send the hawk to a girl to answer what they should do. But anyways, that is the current story. And I want to just give you a couple of updates that we're going to read off of this is NBC News. So a couple things. Ceasefire went into effect 12 p.m. local time in Israel. That's 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The government in Israel had to approve the deal. The government in Israel approved the deal. This is potentially going to be bringing an end to the war. I just want to say the photos of Bibi Netanyahu flanked by Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are so funny because you just can tell that Bibi was dragged to that table. It's almost like henchmen guards who are just like, sign the fucking paper, okay? No more bullshitting, Bibi. Sign this paper. So they're kind of flanking him in this like really funny moment. There's been a lot of moments of Netanyahu being kind of like publicly humiliated into agreeing to stuff, manhandled over the past couple of weeks. We're going to get into that in a minute. Withdrawal. Israeli forces have completed the first phase of their withdrawal from parts of Gaza, according to the U.S. and Israel. Though Palestinians have been warned to avoid certain areas. If you look at the map, I'm not going to do it as well as looking at a map is going to do it. But Israel is still in about, if I'm not mistaken, about 58% of Gaza. But they've moved out from the central area of Gaza. That area that is in the yellow is going to for sure be part of a buffer zone that is yet to be determined. With all this hostage releases, President Trump said that he expects Israeli hostages to be released Monday or Tuesday in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. 48 hostages remain to be returned, 20 of whom are still believed to be alive. Trump is on his way to Israel. Trump is going to be going to Israel, and he has been invited to address the Knesset. The Knesset is Israeli parliament. Troop deployment. Now, this is a big one. U.S. is preparing options to deploy as many as 200 troops to Israel to support the stabilization in Gaza and the flow of humanitarian aid and the security assistance into the enclave. So that is a big deal that America is actually putting boots on the ground as part of this transition into whatever is next. And the last part of this is aid is to Gaza. Aid is expected to flow into Gaza, where scenes of devastation and hunger as well as famine were declared. This has prompted outrage from the world and left Israel isolated diplomatically. That's NBC News's. I think it's never made us more relatable. But so a couple of takeaways from like all of this. Yes. First of all, no effing way would Biden or Kamala have gotten this done. And I say this as someone that does not like Trump. I am not a Trump guy. I did not vote for him. I am a registered Democrat. I think that Trump is slowly putting this country into chaos. I think that what's happened with ICE and the tariffs and everything. Bad. Boy fucking howdy has this guy knocked it out of the park with this Gaza deal. He ended the war in Israel. If Biden and Kamala would have been in charge, we would have been in this fucking war for the next 5, 10, 15 years. It just is what it is. There would have been diplomacy on our side being tried and failed. And I know that people are saying like, well, Biden got a couple of hostages out. Yeah, he didn't get them all out. He was given the last year plus of his presidency to get them all out, and he did not get them out.
Yeah. Who got the majority out?
That I don't know. 20 at once is a big deal.
Guess not the guy we want it to be.
I think Biden may numbers wise have gotten more. But there's this idea though is that the last 20, like we cannot move on to the next thing until all of the live ones are back.
Yeah.
That's
we gotta close the chapter.
Chapter done.
Yes.
Seal it. Looper. You ever seen Looper?
No.
This is Looper. This is Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Looper. But we needed to end here. Like that is the biggest thing here is that this is like a firm like check mark. Okay, end of this chapter. Let's go on to the next chapter here. Even if Biden got more out, he would have not gotten the final people out.
Yeah.
That is the big thing here. And why did this happen? Because Donald Trump is the right kind of asshole. And that's how I would like to start this episode, by just putting down this broad declaration, is that Donald Trump is the biggest piece of human shit. He came up through the New York real estate scene. He was the biggest piece of shit in the New York real estate scene, which is, and this is true, the Special Olympics of assholes. That's what doing real estate in New York is, especially in the 80s and 90s. This guy is a guy who took out an ad in the New York Times against the Central Park Five. He is a verified piece of shit. Grab him by the pussy. But you know what? Maybe that's the only people that these fucking I have to say Israeli and Arab. So just there was a chance I could say fucking Arab, but that's not what I mean. These fucking Israeli and Arab assholes
Everyone's
out there.
Equal in his
Everyone's a piece of shit in that region, and it took King piece of shit himself to go over there and talk to all the other little pieces of shit. And I know for a fact that there is a hotel deal, whether it's talked about or not. You know there is a hotel deal or some bullshit that is big part of this. There's just those are the elements where he went over there and he said, Qatar, do you want any American money? Then fucking hold your man in task. Hold your dude. Hold Hamas out there. It's the right kind of asshole to go there. And then he turned to the Israelis and said, you want more American money? Everyone hates you in America right now. Why don't you shape up? Democrat support for you is gone. Republican support for you is slipping. Fucking, are you guys stupid or what? And that's what got Bibi to the table. Another thing that got Bibi to the table.
What? Golf course.
Qatar bombing.
Yes.
What a fucking misstep on his side. A couple of this, what is largely being reported now is that there was a massive change in tone over the ceasefire and hostage negotiations. And the reason why was because a couple of weeks ago, Israel bombed Qatar. They bombed Doha. They were trying to bomb where the Hamas headquarters was. And they only took out a bunch of like admins. Like no one really big died there, which is kind of funny. And then someone also pointed out that like, yeah, they took out a bunch of admins because there's no one left alive in Hamas, you know? So they bombed a bunch of admins, and that essentially also potentially led to, okay, let me take that back.
It's very funny to me that Hamas has admins.
Someone's in charge. They got Con Ed. They're technically the
payroll
government.
department.
They're the payroll. Until October 7th, there was someone in Hamas who just had to do garbage cleanup.
Direct deposits. Scheduling everyone's,
co-pays. Actually, they probably have socialized medicine out there, ironically enough. No, but there's something kind of funny. There was a story about like how after the Taliban took over Afghanistan, a lot of people were like kind of pissed off because they were the government now. Like there are people who are like, I joined the Taliban to fight against the great Satan in America, but now I work in accounts receivables. in the IRS of Afghanistan.
Big career pivot, honestly.
Yeah. I got into this because I wanted to globalize the Intifada. Now I just would like to globalize our mainframe so that we can offer, Wi-Fi in the schools and stuff. But what happened was that there were a bunch of the Hamas stronghold in Doha. Bibi decided to attack. It was a failed attack. It really didn't change anything. It also kind of plays into the fact that a lot of times we're kind of close to a hostage deal, and then all of a sudden Bibi would fuck it up, which is like a whole other thing. But we attacked Doha. All it did was piss off the Qataris. That's all it did. It didn't stabilize anything. It didn't make anything easier. It just made the Qataris like pissed off. And
bunch of admins dead.
yeah.
So.
And they were like, was it worth it? You took out our accountants. Like, was that what you wanted to do? You took out the dog
now
watcher.
the money's just up for grabs.
So they bombed Qatar. The Qataris are like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we are the middlemen in this. Are you out of your mind?
Where Al Jazeera is based.
Yeah, well, Al Jazeera, whatever.
I know.
Al Jazeera is not actually based in Israel anymore. I think they shut down the office.
There's no
yeah.
Al Jazeera in Israel anymore.
No.
That's true.
They used to have an office. They don't have an office anymore. I would say rightfully. Al Jazeera is is the Fox News of that region. In
You know what? Fox News is a great news source.
It's
quote me
America's.
on that.
It's the only place I get Israel news from. Anyways, so Bibi bombs Doha. The Qataris are like, what the fuck are you doing? And then Trump was like, Bibi, what are you fucking doing here? I love the Qataris. They love money. I love money. Stop fucking with my friends over there. And that was the step that kind of got us to a point that we are at today, is what is being reported. It's that Bibi overstepped when he bombed Qatar for no reason. This forced the conversation about finding an end to the war over there. And yada, yada, yada. And I remember that the original 21-point peace plan or whatever that came out, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is like very friendly towards Bibi and the Israelis. And then the next day, they had that famous video of Trump making Bibi call the Qataris from the White House.
Sorry.
The phone is on Trump's lap. The cord is all the way stretched out to Bibi's ear, and he had to call them in front of everybody and apologize. And I guarantee you that was part of this deal, is that Trump was like, we're going to find an end to this deal. We're going to do what blah, 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 XYZ, 21-point plan. But you got to call the Qataris and say you're sorry. He's the Jewish mom of the region now.
That's amazing.
Anyways, I've talked a lot here. What is your Goyish and non-Jewish take on everything?
Oh my God. You're definitely right about the Donald Trump aspect of all of this. He is the only person who could have gotten this done. And you know what? It's like every corporation too. Like the only people who ever get promoted are the biggest bitches on the team up to management, because nobody gets the job done better or faster than them. They call somebody up. They say, look, here's how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Send me the quote.
Yeah.
And then we'll negotiate that.
You can just tell that there was a tonal shift in Trump over the past couple of months.
Yeah.
Like, he went from being like, rah, 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 I love Israel, to just being
I will pull
visibly,
all the money.
Yeah, like just visibly frustrated. First of all, he wants that Nobel Peace Prize. I actually think, can I be dead serious about that? Give him the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yep.
Give him an Emmy Award. Give him a Tony Award. I swear to God, you want to fix every problem in America? Just give him an award and tell him,
this guy needs an EGOT.
Fix Flint. Oh, you want to fix Flint? Here's an Oscar award.
Somebody please fix Flint.
Like, it's like one of those things. It's like, oh, you want poverty? Like, why are the Democrats not going to him and being like, you know what? We'll give you a Tony Award if you stop ICE. Like, we'll give you, if you stop ICE everywhere, name the award. I'll give you an independent award. I swear to God.
We'll just say you got them all.
If you open the government up and give child tax credits out there, then we will give you a Soul Train award. Ooh. You want a Soul Train award? Name the award.
So you think people just need to be putting awards on the table and then sort of going, oh, if somebody could come along and do ABC, then they would be very deserving of this award.
He fixed Israel because he thought he was going to get a Nobel Peace Prize out of it.
It would be very funny if he didn't. You are right, he does deserve one, but lots of people deserve things, okay?
He should actually have it, and we should all be forced to sit there and watch him take it. Democrats did not get this done. And I say that as a Democrat.
And they would not.
Biden and Kamala did not get this done. And you know what the punishment for us should be? Is that we watch Donald Trump accept a Nobel Peace Prize. We've earned this. He's going to love every second of it.
Yep.
He's going to sit there and he's going to have a big fancy fucking dinner and he's going to have a big parade and he's going to enjoy it. And his kids are in the photo ops and him with the Peace Prize. It's going to be a beautiful event. And the Democrats have to be seething. And you know why? Because you have to learn a lesson. You have to learn a lesson. This guy did it because he was an asshole. You guys got to be a little bit more assholes right now. Why are we not, if fucking Donald Trump codifies Roe v. Wade, give him an Oscar award. Would it kill you? Name it. Give him a Nickelodeon.
I'll do it personally.
Here you go. All of a sudden, we improve the public school system. We offer bigger budgets to the public school system. We put back in No Child Left Behind or whatever program that hopefully works, and we try to rid the childhood illiteracy problem in America. Give him a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award.
Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award.
Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award.
He doesn't even have to get the slime.
No, have him slime Pam Bondi. Have him slime Bernie Sanders. Give OAC.
Whoever he wants.
We're playing him wrong. We just have to jerk him off. Why are we acting like this isn't all of our problems are in one jerk off session away from being fixed? Jerk it off. Name a thing. Cancer research. Fucking the moonshot of solving cancer.
Jerk it off.
Jerk it off, baby. I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brains. Did you listen to the Taylor Swift album yet?
A little bit of it.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I got a question for you. Everyone's acting like, oh, she wrote it with AI. Did she write it with AI or did she write it with AI or has all of her music always sounded like AI? The AI learned from her.
Exactly. The AI is based on her. She has been fed into the AI so many times. AI learned English from Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. And then also the other part of it is she's always had her big thing is mass appeal to all sides of the political spectrum, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's what AI is going for too, just an answer that makes everybody happy.
Yes.
And she is the expert at that. So I think it's little column A, little column B. Maybe she fucked around with AI a little bit and she said, this sounds exactly like
But
me.
she doesn't need to. And
No.
she could go out there and just write a song and it would sound like AI. All of those AI weird songs that get made, they are all spoofing her.
Yeah.
It feels like
It's
they
all
use
a Taylor Swift beat.
Yeah.
It's always
it's Eminem,
yeah.
it's Taylor Swift, or it's Madonna. It is there's the
I don't even think it's that nuanced. I think it's Taylor Swift every single time.
No. Because think about it like this. It's you have the rap AI.
Oh yeah, you're right. Eminem is the
Pop
rap AI.
AI. You have just the vocal
K-pop
intonation.
AI.
Yeah.
That's always been AI.
K-pop is AI. K-pop is now AI that humans are being forced to perform, which is very funny.
That's a reverse scenario.
I don't know if you saw, but the girls from K-pop Demon Hunters, the band from K-pop Demon Hunters, they were on Fallon a couple days ago.
They're on SNL.
Oh wait, really?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
There was a K-pop Demon Hunters sketch, and there were some
they performed
Korean women, and I thought maybe it was.
No, the three girls that do K-pop Demon Hunters that voice it, who sing the songs, they performed the song live on Fallon this week. So it is, and those songs all sounded like they were AI. So it is. The loop has come back, and now humans are doing AI.
Yeah.
This is
was it the actual women performing, or was it like a Tupac style digital hologram of their characters? They should have had that there too, actually.
At some point within our lifetime, we're gonna get full movies with dead actors. We're gonna get an Elizabeth Taylor.
It's on TikTok right now.
That's
you
what
can watch
Sora
fucking Gone with the Wind in 86 parts.
Yeah. Here's an actual thing. Sora, and we'll get back to Israel in a second. Sora, the AI video app, is actually, I don't know if you saw this, but there's this really intense, really next level AI graphic creator machine called Sora 2 that makes all these videos look like TikTok videos. So you put in what does it look like for the Revolutionary War? POV Revolutionary War, or Stephen Hawking racing NASCAR, and then all of a sudden it'll just show Stephen Hawking in a really good video, or Stephen Hawking at the X Games or something. I saw Martin Luther King doing stand-up comedy. That Sora was the first time where I was hey, you know what?
It's believable.
That's actually that's actually the end of the industry. Because the idea is that the people that would protect it are like CAA and Endeavor and like all of these like media, and Paramount doesn't give a shit.
Remember the writer's strike?
Yeah, like that is hilarious that the writer's strike was a thing. But it feels like all of these like groups that are supposed to be in charge of protecting it are just small potatoes compared to OpenAI.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be OpenAI can go to Paramount right now and say, hey, 10 years down the line, we're going to have a feature where all your people have to do is type in, I want a happy Christmas movie set in Idaho with and then the protagonist is this age.
True.
And that just takes out the studio. And do the studios care or do the distributors care? The studios care. But if I'm a distributor, I'm like, fuck the studios.
Ha!
You know, there's always going to be a premium on human work, which is a crazy sentence, but like, you know,
It's true.
Sora was the first time.
Money.
Yeah.
AI does not.
And it's like, you know, back in the day, there was an ability to do like NASCAR, you know, Stephen Hawking doing NASCAR. Like it would involve renting a track and having a crew and having a this and that. But it's all money.
Gotta get him in there somehow.
Oh, I was going to do a fake one. You want actual Stephen Hawking's in this? Yeah. No, you're right.
We didn't have AI back then.
But like, you know, like there's like a studio crew that would have been hired for this, but like that studio crew is done in a way where
Key grips over.
Yeah. The pipeline. Sora was the first time really where I was like, nah, maybe the industry's done.
Oh, we just
Newscasters done. Newscasters don't need to be real anymore.
They don't need to be real. That's true.
Podcast host
Over.
done.
Game over.
You know, street interviews done. Sports is really the only thing. Sports and Broadway, I think, are the two things that will always be there because you can't like manufacture like
talent.
Outcomes. Like if I'm a Met fan, I'm not going to watch.
There's risk involved, I guess, is the thing.
Sports betting is also a huge part of sports. Like, yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Israel again. So what is an interesting thing? We're going to talk about Trump more. Is that in Gaza, there were a lot of Gazans that were cheering for Donald Trump, which I thought, yeah.
I'm sure they were.
Actually, I wonder if I can find one of the clips. 1 second.
He's getting it done. The deal, man. We're doing the deal.
How would you fix this? Wait.
How would I fix this?
I want the cheering.
Here
we go.
Yes. I really don't have an answer for that question, so I would love it if you found the clip.
Let's see.
I think I would do what he did. He didn't go into Gaza, did he?
Trump?
Yeah.
No, he's not going into Gaza. So this is a video of Gazans.
I feel like he's gonna.
So that's them doing Allahu Akbar. And then
that is crazy.
Yeah.
If I was in Gaza right now, I too would definitely be cheering for Trump because, as you mentioned earlier, the only way to get him to do anything for you is just to jerk him off, tell him you're the best guy,
number one
ever.
guy.
You're the number one guy. You're my number one guy.
Just think about how he talks about other people when he's trying to shmush up to like not shmush up when he's trying to like kiss up. That's how he, you know, we did this beautiful thing, we did this blank thing, the biggest, the beautifulest. You know, just say that about him. It doesn't make it different. Who cares?
Totally.
Who cares?
And what an incredible soundbite for him to get to. A bunch of stranded Gazan people just cheering for him as their savior. Like
Democrats.
Hello, 2028.
That's the crazy thing also is that there have been so many times over the past like day or two when I've just been like, fuck, he's doing a really good job with this one thing. And then I would turn on my phone and it would be like, Trump announces tariffs against China. And I'm like, fuck, that's right. That is right. I totally forgot. Is that you know, this is one element of the thing.
The Navy is coming to New York City.
Now the big question is like, what happens now? So there's also a big question of like Hamas. It is unclear if they have been asked to put their arms down. Like when we talk about the two things that the two outcomes for the end of this war, Bibi came into this war and he said two things. He wants Hamas to be eradicated and for the hostages to be out. Not in that order. I think the hostages up top. And then the rest of Israel wanted the hostages out, but then Bibi and his like extremists seem to be more involved in just keeping the war going as long as humanly possible. What's also very funny is that you can tell that they were keeping it long as possible. Donald Trump, for everything that he is, he also doesn't like, it's not that he doesn't lie, but you know when he's lying and exaggerating versus when, yeah, exactly. You know when he's like exaggerating, and then you also know when he's just being completely honest.
Yeah.
And there were two moments where you just knew that he was being completely honest. The first one was a couple months ago during the Iran thing when he was in front of cameras, and the cameras were like, so what do you think about the Israel bombing, or Israel bombed Iran, and then, you know, they didn't hold whatever. And then he looked to the camera and he said, these two countries have been warring and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Dropped in a hard F-bomb on CNN. Caitlin Collins got a little smush down there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was like, oh.
Bad president.
That was number one. And then number two, a couple weeks ago, he literally said, anytime we tried to get a deal, Bibi has bombed another country. Which just like holds up the suspicion that we all knew ahead of time, was that like there have been times where there was a hostage deal. And I want to say that it's a question of if this is accurate and whatever, but there's a lot of reporting about how like a lot of these deals were offered, a little bit ago, and were essentially sabotaged by Bibi. And I think some of that is exaggeration, and I also think some of it is completely not an exaggeration at all. Yeah. You know?
Yes.
Do you hear what RFK said about foreskins?
No.
So RFK every once in a while will say something. Let's see.
You got a quote?
We have two studies that showed children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. It's highly likely because they're given Tylenol.
Stop.
RFK, Health and Human Services Secretary. Is that what he is?
Yeah.
RFK, the head of the Health and Human Services, Chief Medical Officer himself, RFK Jr., during a press conference said that, quote, kids with circumcisions are more likely to have autism. And let me just say, as a Jew, 100% right. All of us are hyper focused and obsessed on little minutia things. Where RFK is correct is who is the most into baseball? The Jews, and then who also really loves baseball?
Autism.
That's right. There's a link between autism and circumcision. So this is what he's saying. He's saying that because kids who are circumcised often take Tylenol, they have a higher rate of being autistic. This is what I will say, not true. Now, here's what you do. I want to say, by the way, what they should do is find a study that links autism and IBS. Autism and... sorry, not... He just picks all of these like Jewish things. He's like, I heard that there is a direct link between being autistic and being a mama's boy.
I have a real question. Why is autism suddenly like enemy number one? You can't die from autism. Okay? What happened to cancer? Kills people. Autism makes you a little awkward. Like, there are high functioning autistics out there who are just fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, why is this such a huge problem? We have to stop autism in its tracks. Like,
It is an interesting focus because the thing with RFK is that
who cares if it causes autism?
So much of his stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm into that. Like, get rid of the red dye. Yeah,
sure, get rid of the red dye.
Why not get rid of the red dye?
Everyone should be healthier. Yes.
Yeah, totally. Bring back the presidential fitness thing. Okay. Everyone's got to eat organic. Totally. For all of it. But what is this quest against autism?
Why are you so mad at autism?
Yeah. I that is a very funny. Out of all the things to be worrying about, cancer rates are skyrocketing. Everyone's depressed and anxious. Autism.
It's such a weird thing to get locked onto.
I heard that. I want him to start to link other Jewish things. What if he?
I kind of feel like autism is RFK's autistic fixation. You know what I mean? Did we get to the bottom of it?
Oh my God! Did you just figure it out?
I think so. Because
RFK has an autistic obsession.
Yes.
RFK has an autistic obsession
with autism.
Autism is his autism.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's a looper situation.
I want to know if he's circumcised.
This is a looper situation.
He would be. This is a classic looper. By the way, this is a classic looper situation. There's a friend of mine. I'm not going to say names. A friend of mine found out that his girlfriend was cheating on him with someone else.
Oh my God.
And that person has a girlfriend. And I told this person, I'm like, you have to go over there. You have to F that girlfriend. You have to hook up with that girlfriend. You have to close off the loop. That's how it works. That is what the movie Looper was about.
I've never seen the movie Looper, but you've been comparing a lot of stuff to it recently, so I assume it's very
Looper.
relevant.
This scenario is exactly Looper. That's how it works.
Good.
Looper was about Bruce Willis hooking up with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's girlfriend because Joseph Gordon-Levitt, or you know what I mean. Anyways. Moving right back to this. But yeah, RFK said circumcisions cause autism. I wonder if there was any other big news. It's been funny. You know, we're at this point in like the news cycle where like everything has kind of like stopped with the hostage thing. It feels like everything, the world is kind of like waiting in place. I'll say also in the Jewish community, like, you know, the past couple of weeks of holidays are very like heightened time, you know, for the community. And for this to be dropping during this exact time, we're almost at we're literally at the 2-year anniversary of all this starting. Crazy. So, crazy. Let me just go to the GTE real quick. Make sure that there is no other stuff going on. Rapid fire. Squeezed out in Gaza, PA's Abbas embraces Israeli peace activists in Ramallah. Sorry. There is one little bit of news that I forgot about. Saul Zabar. We got to give a shout out to Saul Zabar.
Shout out to Saul Zabar.
Saul Zabar, who is the son of the original Zabars, passed away this week at 97. An institution. This guy was called the Whitefish Czar. Oh, sorry, the Smoked Fish Czar by the New York Times. Here's a couple of things on their website that I was that they said that I just want to say. This is from their website. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but really, really cool. Zabars, if you don't know, is an iconic grocery store on the Upper West Side. It's been there forever, and it was started by Ukrainian immigrants, Lois and Larry or something like that, in 1934, who immigrated over here, known for upscale coffee beans and meats and all that stuff. They, every year, sell 400,000 pounds of coffee. Which is insane. They also sell 4,000 pounds of fish every week, which is a crazy thing. Here's a list of some stuff that the Zabar family has introduced to New York. Sun-dried tomatoes.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Gnocchi.
What?
Yeah. Brie.
No.
Introduced to New York by the Zabar family.
Zabar themselves?
And I want to just read you an article that was called about something called the Caviar Wars. Now, the Caviar Wars were a thing that happened in the 80s that was essentially a Macy's and Zabar's got into a fight over the cost of caviar. And at one point, the cost of caviar was like $400 for like a tin or whatever. And by the end of this fight, it dropped to like $89 because they kept on undercutting each other. So I'm going to read the article from the New York Times. This is back on December 22nd, 1983. It is not unusual for large wars to break out over small incidents, and the Great Caviar War currently raging between Macy's and Zabar's is no exception. It should surprise no one that the war, which has seen the price of the finest beluga drop steadily in stores from over $200 for a 14-ounce tin to $125, which was Murray Klein, the co-owner of Zabar's, vowing that, quote, blood will run in the streets. And it began over the chocolate bar war a couple of months before.
What?
For buyers of Russian and Iranian caviar, those pearly gray roe of the Caspian sturgeon, which traditionally sell heavily during the year and holidays, the war has been a gustatory boon.
Ooh.
I'm the New York Times. Last year, a tin of beluga was selling for as much as $400. As of this writing, a 14-ounce tin was selling for $125 at Macy's and $119.95 at Zabar's. The indications were the prices would go even lower before the holidays. Macy's, which does not acknowledge that there is a price war being waged, contends that it is merely continuing its tradition of holiday caviar sales. According to Stephen Fass, a vice president of Macy's who is in charge of the seller marketplace, it's something we've been doing for 30 years, he said. We are a major retailer and we're selling caviar at a fair price. Zabar's says otherwise. Mr. Klein flatly calls what is going on a great war and vows, I don't care if I lose $50,000. I spoke to my partners and we agreed. Petty New York Jewish business Tension. I mean, I need a 8-part miniseries on just the caviar wars here. Mr. Klein, to whom a sale sign in another store is as much of a challenge as Mr. Klein is out to get me is what this next part called, because his most recent promotional gambit, he filled Zabar's window with pages of Macy's houseware catalog and undercut every price. That's where this started. And then the chocolate incident. When it actually erupted then came the chocolate incident. When it actually erupted is back in the fuzziness of time, but it is known that Macy's and Zabar's at one point were selling Lindt chocolate bars for $1.39. The price went down to 98 cents at Zabar's and then 89 cents at Macy's, and then the duel began. Currently, Macy's is selling Lindt chocolate bars for 39 cents and Zabar's 35 cents. The next skirmish in luxury food battle was over crocks of Pommery mustard. Macy's price was $4 for a stoneware jar, where Zabar's priced them to $2.98. Macy's dropped its price to $2.89, which prompted Zabar's to drop their price to $2.59. The houseware skirmishes followed, and then just in time for the holidays came the escalation over Sturgeon Row. Contributing to the general decrease in caviar prices have been the gradual increase in acceptance over American caviar by the American public. The acceptance is not what it is. The acceptance is not what it was at the turn of the century, when the roe of the Hudson River sturgeon was as highly regarded as its Russian relative. But it is sufficient to dent the Russian-Iranian caviar monopoly. Another factor in the decline of the caviar prices has been the reappearance of the market earlier this year of Iranian caviar after a 2-year absence. Still a factor has been the entry into the imported caviar market of smaller importers. The general decline in caviar prices has favored not only individual consumers, but large commercial users as well. The executive chef at the Regency Hotel, Gary Clausen, says, quote, who buys a great deal of caviar for his restaurant and room service menu, says that he remembers it as being over $400 a pound a year ago. I've seen it going down to $200 to $190 to $185 and still down. The quality coming in is beautiful. They all pick from the same source, but it's a question of who picks best. It is even possible in this buyer's market to obtain a very small grain Russian Saruga caviar for as little as $89 for a 14-ounce tin. Back to the battlefield. The price for beluga currently was lolling between $180 range when Zabar's cut its price to $149.95 several months ago. Macy's, which usually has its caviar on sale between Christmas and New Year's, started it before Thanksgiving. This year, lowering its price to $145 on November 20th. Last week, Macy's went to $139.95. Then Zabar's dropped its price to $129.95, where it stood until Tuesday, when Mr. Fast disclosed that Macy's price had been put to $125.
Whoa.
The petty caviar wars are like one of my favorite New York things of all time. And it all started because of the Uber Jews at Zabar's fighting the Uber Goyim at Macy's, even though I'm pretty sure the guy in charge of the Macy's thing sounded Jewish.
That's pretty cool. More of this, I think. More price wars.
Yeah,
inflation is bad. Pick a thing and everybody do a war on who can sell it for the cheapest. I would like to get involved with that.
You want to be involved in the price war?
Yeah, I want to be involved in buying the cheap products.
What are you going to get involved in? What war?
I like caviar. I think that's very sophisticated. If I were to get involved in a food war, trying to think what is the fanciest thing that I consume on a regular basis, honestly, let's just do smoked fish.
Yeah, there needs to be a smoked fish
war.
There needs to be you have to take out a small mortgage on your house in order to enjoy lox on the regular. It's way too expensive. Someone needs to step in, and there needs to be like an undercutting. There does need to be like a repositioning of the market.
Yeah, Macy's needs to get into the smoked fish game again.
Yeah, or we got to get sponsored by Acme. This podcast has to get sponsored by Acme.
You do have to get sponsored by Acme.
Oh
Why
my
don't
God,
you
what a
have
joy.
a fish sponsor?
What, I have a fish sponsor?
Yeah.
You know, technically a little bit. Manischewitz does gefilte fish,
do
so that may,
fish,
dent
okay,
it.
You're right.
I do need. Listen, if you're a fish distributor out there and you have something for me, by all means, I'm into it. Give me it. Yum, yum, yum. That's what I always say. was one little bit of sports news that I want to kind of bring up here.
Oh.
Last night, the last Jew in the Major League Baseball playoffs was eliminated. Harrison Bader and the Philadelphia Phillies were eliminated last night, which officially ends the Jewish quest for a trophy. What?
Wait, there are no other Jewish baseball players on any other teams
That are in the playoffs still. No.
That's crazy.
I know. It's actually pretty anti-Semitic.
That is very anti-Semitic.
Those anti-Semites at Major League Baseball, what are they hiding? What are you hiding? Why can't we participate?
There's no Jewish people on the Blue Jays?
No Jew Jays.
No.
No Jew Jays.
Devastating.
I know there were two left. It was sorry, there were the three big ones that came in. There were Alec Bregman from the Boston Red Sox. You had Max Fried on the Yankees, and then you had Harrison Bader on the Phillies. But nisht, no more. That's
so you're
it.
cheering for the Yankees to come through.
I was not cheering for the Yankees. The Yankees to me are worse than Hamas. It's gotta be a sad time to be a Hamas guy right now. You know?
Yeah.
Party's over. You know what's? You know who actually is probably really sad about this? You know, I was even questioning whether I want to bring this up, but all those fucking CeaseFire Now people, silent. All of the CeaseFire Now people and all of like the encampment people, all those people, completely fucking silent here. And you know why? Because they are as bummed that this war is ending as Bibi. If there's anything that Bibi and the CeaseFire Now people agreed on, it's that they were loving this gravy train. Yeah. A lot of them are now going to have to figure out, what do I make my personality? And I'll tell you right now, it isn't going to be helping the Sudanese. The idea that Greta is going to go and like help out, any other group, Yemen, like she is not going to happen. There's no money in talking about Yemen. But there's got to be a group of the encampment people who are just like looking back on their like, time hops, and they're just like, man.
I think the stipulation was ceasefire now unless it earns Donald Trump a Nobel Peace Prize, in which case ceasefire never.
No, but even that, I don't think they wanted this to end. I think that they genuinely, I think that people like Hannah Einbinder and then whatever, they're like Fox News people. They are just like, I want this to go as long as possible because this gives me a personality. It's very hard to have a personality about a war that doesn't exist.
True.
And it's not going to hit the same when it's just like Israel's being like mean.
Yeah.
Like the bombing, there you get a little leverage.
Yep.
But Hannah Einbinder can't hold any of her like rallies or whatever. Lana from Broad City, she can't hold any of this shit. Just being like, oh, it's kind of bad there, because
looking rough.
That doesn't get me up in the morning. I'm not coming to that. You know what I mean? I'm not nutting to that.
And you got to get your nut.
That's the thing. You got to be getting my nut. They're not getting their nut off this anymore. That's a big thing also. There's a lot of money that went into like social causes and everything related to this. That money now is going to be redirected to other causes. And I'm curious like where they get sent to,
Yes.
Anyways.
Send it to me.
You want it?
Yes.
How's your Sukkahs been? By the way, happy Sukkahs out there.
Happy Sukkahs to you. I didn't do anything, unfortunately. So I wanted to build a hut, but I just didn't have time in my day to build a hut, unfortunately.
You can still go into a hut.
I would like to go into a hut.
We can go into a hut. We can go. I know you're not Jewish, but we can go into a hut.
Would you take me into the hut?
I'll take you into the hut.
Hell yeah.
But you have to shake a lemon.
I love to shake a lemon.
You got to be shaking lemon.
I wait all year to shake the lemon.
You got to jiggle lemon. There's this crazy movie called Ushpizen. There's this movie, wacky movie they showed us as a kid. It was called Ushpizen. It was about a guy that was like super poor, and then he like wins the lottery or something. He's like a Hasidic guy. He falls into a bunch of money, and then decides to spend all of that money on a fancy esrog.
On a what?
Etrog, the lemon. Oh. He spends all the money on a fancy esrog. And then I remember at the end of it, and I'm spoiler alerting here because no one's seeing this movie anymore. I don't think this is on Netflix or anything like that. But the end of it is that like one of his friends is like making a salad and sees the esrog and just cuts the esrog and just like whatever. And he has like a little bit of a panic attack at the end of it. And his wife, I remember his wife was also potentially leaving him for just being like, why'd you spend our mortgage on an esrog?
How much did the esrog cost?
They can cost like a ton of money. Let's say esrog cost.
What's the kind of ceiling for an esrog?
It's like $40 to $100 for like an esrog.
Oh, okay.
But then
still, their mortgage shouldn't be $100.
No, but the good ones can go up to like $1,000. Like there are people that like really, really, really shell out. And the lulav in general, I mean, like the entire 4-part two-part thing. Like you have to have the lulav, which is the palm fronds, and then the leaves on the side. It's two different kinds of leaves. That whole package, that's like an expensive package.
Right.
And they're run by the mafia. This is an actual
Italian
thing.
mafia.
I will tell you a real thing right now. I had a friend that worked in the esrog and lulav distribution systems in Brooklyn. It's all run by mafias. Don't kill me for letting you guys know this, but it's all run by mafias. My friend
Yakuza?
literally used to get sent to flip the tables of like rival etrog people. They were like, I'm not even joking. People think I'm crazy about this. This is a real thing. He literally would get sent to go and like be like, they're on our turf, flip their table or whatever. I got told that they would hire a non-Jew. And I want to say, is this true or not? Who knows? Doesn't matter. They hired a non-Jew to go over to an etrog table of a place of a family that wasn't supposed to be there and on their territory, pick up an esrog, and there's something called a pitum. A pitum is a little stem on top. You cannot use the esrog unless it has the pitum. They would send like this thug over to the esrog thing, and then he would rip the pitum off it, and then be like, like shalom from the Lowenthal family, and then like walk away or whoever it was.
That's very badass.
This is like
actually.
a real thing. The Jewish mafia, and it's actually, the Jewish mafia is a real thing. This is the petty Jewish stuff. It's the same way that, Zabars used to handle the caviar wars.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so much organized as it is just like gripe based.
Yes, it's all petty. That's all it is. Anyways, this has been, our Friday edition of the Jew York Times, baby. Do you have anything else, any last things you want to say to the Jews? Any questions? Anything like that?
I want to say happy Sukkot. I hope that you're having a great time. I hope that you're loving the hut and that you're shaking the lemon and enjoy.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys. October 20th, I will be in Philadelphia. October 29th, I will be in Toronto. November 1st, I'll be in Nashville. So follow those days. November 20th, I'll be in Boston. And first week of December, I'm in Milwaukee. December 7th, I'm in Chicago. There's a lot of places you can see me perform comedy. Come out if you are around. And until then, we will talk later. Rich isn't here, so you have to say Barstool instead with me. Barstool!